Hey guys, Zim's back. The league is back, and we're happy to be here. We're going to wrap up the first part of season 3 with my two co-hosts for tonight. We've got Ron and Peter, better known as Captain Ron or Ron Madden, and Graz or Spartan XP. Hey guys.
Hi.
So, I know a lot of people who've been waiting a long time for this last week.
Me included.
To wrap up, and it's finally done. I have to admit, it took longer than even I had anticipated. As someone who is close to the issue, let's just say, that did cause our little delay. But I'm really glad we're back. I'm excited to get things started. Yeah, we have. I know we have. How many teams have accepted their tickets so far for the part 2? 7.
If you include the AI.
Okay, so there were 4 who have not. Then is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, well that's not bad. It's not bad after a day. With considering, like I was saying before, we've got some people who probably only use Discord, for this league, and if they haven't been getting messages for a while. So yeah, We'll send some pokes and nods out to the gang tomorrow probably, and I assume we'll be starting this thing by the time the weekend's over. With
hopefully sooner.
Well, yeah, and hopefully sooner. And with we're going to adhere to our 1 game per week schedule, and actually set some deadlines. So let's see. Let's start talking about this league. We just finished our first Wisson League, and because of the format of that, we were just talking about how 1 or 2 teams may have gotten hosed with the opponent selection and the way the Wisson works. Peter?
Yeah, it's a funny thing looking at the schedule week by week, because you'll find that the schedule lists the teams in descending order of their aggregate score for the league so far. So in week 1, it's random, but week 2 you have all the winners of the week 1 on top and all the losers of week 1 on the bottom, and it goes on and gets more specific as time goes on, and it tells a story for every team, where they started out, where they ended, and how they got there along the way. Some people start at the bottom, move all the way up to the top, and then back down to the bottom. Some people go to the top and stay there and refuse to budge.
And that would be who?
Well, as we were discussing before we started, the Delivery Boys were a fun story.
Okay. Yeah.
Week 2, they're in the middle of the pack, because I believe they tied week 1, and they win a game, and they win a game, and they end up at the top.
Because yes, winning, if you're 2-0 in a Wisson tournament, it's they're going to matchmake you.
1-0.
Okay,
which
yeah.
put them right at the top, alongside Dirty Mike and the Gang and the Goats Who Stared Men and Legend of Quango, who they then had to face in succession.
Yeah.
And at the end, they were sent down to the bottom.
Well, they're still in there.
Yeah, but then they won their league game at the bottom, which put them in a solid 4th/5th place at the end. But a very interesting curve they took through the league there.
Well, you know what? I think we're just a lot of times we've done these videos and we've gone through the week's schedule and stuff. But I think we'll just jump right to the leaderboard, and we can kind of go over how each team fared in this last 6 games. What do you guys think?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just in case someone was like dead set on, really wanted to, talk about that last week, because there were some really good games in that last week. Apparently, the game between the Warpstone Warriors and the Goats, according to James, he said it was one of the best games he's ever played. Even despite his terrible luck, he had some bad rolls. Apparently, I plan on watching some of the highlights, but I didn't get a chance to yet. So why don't we start by actually, you know what, you guys, I'm going to I realize I should share my screen too. for my other streamers out there, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about here. That way they can see, Ron, you
Excellent.
and Peter can see what I'm looking at, and you can keep
if you
your
wanna-
screens on the information you have, and we got a whole little
Yeah.
production going here.
You want to kick us off and just read the teams descending order, first place down to 12th?
Go ahead.
Oh, sure.
You got it, right?
Yeah, Legend of Quango in the number 1 spot.
Yes, which now guarantees them a playoff spot at the end of the full season.
This one confuses and enrages me because I'm sure everyone in this league is aware of the things that happened in those games. 5 strength Tauruses picking up the balls with relative ease and more than once.
More than once.
Running it in for a touchdown on turn 8s and turn 16s. It doesn't make sense. It happened over and over.
It's it's the curse. It's the curse of the skinks. Those
It really is.
those long shot goals and stuff.
But I can only pray that his luck turns in
Oh.
the second half because
Yeah, I'm not.
a
like
lot
that.
On the other
a
hand,
lot of
Rob is now the only player that can't knock anyone out of a playoff spot.
that's true.
He cannot affect anyone's. He can't affect anyone's standings except by losing to them. Really.
His horrible, foul 5-strength Saurus
Ugh,
and his
yes.
army of skinks.
Redosaurus or Rhedosaurus. We haven't. I think
They're,
none of
they're
us have
not a
figured out which.
danger. They're not a danger to the health of our players because they don't have Mighty Blow or anything so dangerous. But
Okay.
it's
They are kind of an unstoppable force at times, though.
they are rather difficult to take down when he gets that 5 Saurus cage going.
Yeah, what I wouldn't give for a couple mummies at the front of my line like the old days.
Or perhaps 4 Tomb Guardians. Maybe that Khemri AI team will earn its
Maybe
keep
it's
this time.
Well, and again, and for those of you who don't know, there's no way to carry over an AI team, so I just had to recruit another Khemri team, which will be 1,000 TV. I think that team got itself to maybe
1070.
10. Okay, I was thinking like 1010, but sure, 1070. That's not bad.
They I don't think they had a single level 2 player at the end of our 6 games.
Well, I guess are they available for you to take a look at,
Sure
or are they erased from existence after? Yeah, you can actually check the. They are. Yeah, they are. Okay, so you have them.
Yep.
All
All players level 1.
Nobody's level 2 on that team, so it's not going to make a big difference.
No, it will not. The only difference in their lineup, I think, is they had one more lineman at the end of the season.
All right. So, anyone else, Ron? Any thoughts about the effect of Quango for the second part of the season?
I think this is their tournament to win.
Well, that's
I'm just going to give a piece of advice to
Yeah.
all future coaches. You are never going to run him out of rerolls.
No, you will not.
The man has 6 rerolls on his team. There is no way to run him out.
well, but again, he's sitting pretty. He's got a huge TV, which has been which a lot. There's not a lot of fat on that 2,000 TV either.
No, there is.
Except unless maybe 6
2
rerolls.
rerolls.
Yeah.
2 of
But
those
other
rerolls
than that,
are a little bit of
his team. I think his team. If he could take this team and just teleport it 11 games into the future, into the playoffs, I think this team. Yeah, he'd be the team to beat.
What you're saying is the bounty board is up.
But there is still a bounty board. No one's used it yet, but the league is still young. And
I'll be making a post on there by the end of this video.
so I if I were him, I wouldn't take any chances. I'd try and bench my best players when they're not needed and not take any risky YOLO moves. And try and just keep. I'd be concentrating on keeping the team, not growing the team, but keeping it intact through the season.
That does sound like a good idea.
All right, let's go to number 2. What do we have there?
Number 2, we have the goats who stare at men.
Yeah, so yes, we do. Who, came very close. Very close to besting those rats on this leaderboard, but couldn't quite hold up. Took that one loss, and that cost it.
The least fouling Chaos team I think that has ever existed.
He prefers to dole out his punishment honestly.
With horns.
Honestly, with horns and large fists. Very, very large fists.
And why hit a man when he's down when there's so many guys still up to hit?
Exactly. I believe his journey through the season, much like Quango, was he started at the,
bottom, now he's here.
Else, and then proceeded to win enough games to keep him at the top the entire time.
Yeah.
And how could you not, at a astounding 2,140 TV, all of which is split among, I believe, 12 players? Maybe 13 now.
What?
So almost that entire TV is on the field at any given time, which is a scary thing for us, and then for him when injuries start coming in.
Yeah. And well, that team.
Some of his higher level guys, they are nicked up. They are.
He is. Yeah. You look down his player list. Actually, why don't I just go to it?
I'll pull it up.
Well, you can pull it up.
I believe
it's more fun. Mine's the one being seen on camera, so.
Oh well, then you do that.
It'd be more interesting for people to look at, to see the visual of that. There they are. Horrifying. Too many tentacle things in that group
13
photo.
13 players now.
Oh, so he is at 13. Okay, so there you go.
He did get a new Beastman goat start.
Right. He won that game. What is it? Yesterday they played. He won that game yesterday, and he's. I don't know about you guys. I have a feeling I know Ron's answer. I think, but I'm not sure if Peter's. I can't have this. What we're looking at on this screen right now. When there's those 2 little yellow arrows pointing up next to one of my guys, I'm not going to bed and saving it for a few days later.
Now, I believe his game was very hours after it was played.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think he's been to the computer.
Yeah, I didn't verify it until I got home from work. So, anyway, yeah. So, but although James, I noticed James has at least one. He's flashing. He's flashing right now.
Yeah, same situation there.
Let's see what he's got going on over here. Oh, he's got one.
Well, we'll get to him.
But there's let me go back to this team though, so we can see the team roster. We're talking about the state of these guys.
About the goats that's so scary is if you manage to somehow get a 2-die block and injure one of his players, with the amount of guard that he's about to have on that team, with the 2 Chaos Warriors leveling up. If you manage to actually block one of his players and get 2 dice and knock him down and injure him, he's got 12 players who are pretty much 12 players who are all level 3 and up. So that level 3 player you knock out is being replaced by another level 3 player of equal danger.
Unless Goatsart, is the last one left.
Unless, you injure 2 and then you have Goatsart coming in, and that's not really...
But even then, Goatsart's not going to take long to be level 3.
No, he will not.
And just to be fair here, since we took a look at that, we should go back and take a look at where the hell... There they are. There's Quang. Let's just take a look at their roster quickly. Also, I did count 5 red crosses, or I guess they're white crosses on red, down the Goats roster. So there's 5 guys with permanent injuries. A lot of red stats.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red
But a lot of
stats.
it is movement and it's line guys and chaos
That's right.
warriors.
I mentioned the Saurus, the 5-strength Saurus, but I forgot to mention his gutter runner.
Oh, yes, he's got a runner. This that would be Gigan there.
If you're listening to this, I recommend getting Sure Hands.
It's sure has to be a great thing to have for him because it eliminates the. Well, I mean, it eliminates the
one
need to
instance.
roll that occasional. Because I roll ones all the time when my two.
The occasional 1 in
Yeah,
6.
my two
and,
pluses are still dropping them
negates strip ball.
and negates strip ball because we are in a. The league has a lot more advanced players. We have some strip ball already, and we're gonna be seeing more. So, yeah, absolutely. So let's and just for fun, I just want to go back. I've gone back 3 times,
Yeah.
but let's just take. I'm just look at the red on. Yeah, we've got 3 movement gimp dudes. We've got 1.
Yeah, you said there were 5 red crosses, but one of those is actually 2 in 1 because he's got a minus move and a minus armor.
Yes, yes. So there, yeah, that's a team. That team has seen some action, you know. All right, let's go back. Who's next? Who's next?
Dirty Mike and the gang.
Oh,
which I
okay.
feel like I am gonna sit back and let you guys talk about
Well,
this one.
Ron, let's talk about Dirty Mike and the gang.
Let's.
There they are, a handsome bunch of stupid,
So many extra
freaky
heads.
long necks sticking out of. Oh,
They're
so
beautiful.
disgusting. They are more disgusting than all the tentacles on the goats. There, I said it.
My beautiful boys.
Okay.
That's 5 extra heads there.
Yes.
And
so-
Dirty Mike is close to leveling again.
Oh my God, he is.
He will be the 3rd level 6 player at this rate, unless someone from the Orcs beats him.
Well, Tommy Guns could beat him. Tommy Guns has.
Tommy Guns has no chance of beating him.
I don't
Dirty
know.
Mike's rolling in 2 to 4 SPP a game.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess so then.
Because he's now incredibly tough to knock down.
Yeah.
Ah, he's beautiful.
Yes, a blodging warpstone troll. Just the mind boggles. Yeah, you have done a very good job at making sure that because you have said that if Dirty Mike was to die, you would retire the team, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So I think you've done all you can to protect him from
That
death.
is correct.
Yeah,
From harm.
from harm. That's right. So
It's not so much to protect him from harm as it is to allow him to continue to harm.
well, you have to do one for the other.
You are
Because-
about the offense over the defense.
The Underworld team
It's
is
what
a
they
team
say.
that loses players, and so in order to counteract that, you must cause your opponent to lose players as well.
Yeah, it's what they call tits for tats.
Exactly.
So let's see. I see also though there are a lot of red crosses. Let's just call them red crosses for heaven's sake. Yeah, you got 5 on your own there.
This is the 3rd season of the team.
Yeah, well, I'm saying Jules is one of those 2 injury guys because he's gimped on movement and armor.
I believe. Yes.
Yeah, that's Jules.
I believe I have a couple niggling injuries as well spread around there.
Yeah.
That's right. Butcher Coolidge actually has -1 movement and +2 to all injury rolls made against him. So he's not long for this one. He's been around 3 years. The end is
That's
coming.
for a Skaven Blitzer. He's very, very old.
Yeah, the end is coming. He is a blodger though, which has kept him up all this time.
There he is. There's his stats. Doesn't it have his age on here somewhere?
Yeah, it's in the top. It's next to his name there. It says 3 years.
Oh, there he is.
of
Oh,
career.
3 years of career. That's where it is. Durr. Okay, let's go. Let's go and just continue our conversation for a moment. What do you see for Dirty Mike and the gang in the second part of the season, Ron?
More casualties. both inflicted and received.
That is in the plan.
So a lot of very decent players on both sides is what you're saying.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, I think it is going to be the last run of Jules and Tommy Gunn.
This is their last
You
shot.
say
This is
that?
the last shot at that ring.
You say that, but there's a fun little side note I have here, which is the Orcs and a few other teams in these 6 games spent a lot of time trying to kill Jules, and every time he was hit, I thought that this is it, he's dead, he's done. And every time he just took a stun like a champ. The guy is a brick wall.
And he can honestly say, I've been hit harder. It's like he's running out. All right. Well, yeah, I'm not sure. We've talked with this without Peter with us, but he's aware of the conversations we've had, and Peter is still a guy who will potentially sacrifice a win if it means he can go and injure a guy.
Not this league. I did that back when there was no chance of me winning anyway, because Underworld's not a great team for low TV. But now that I have those 2 head goblins and the powerful, mighty Dirty Mike and a great supporting cast, this is my season to win.
Well, this is a team where I like those names are out there.
One of the front runners, I believe.
Which one?
I do believe this is the first ever season where I have had I ended in the above the bottom 3, I should say.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
in the top 3 now.
Yeah, the top 3, absolutely.
I would actually put a more of a chance of Dirty Mike and gang winning this league than the Goats.
Okay, there you go.
Only because the Goats have the ferociously bad luck.
I do think that my history against them has been positive in my favor as well. But let's move this along. And Ron, do you have the leaderboard? Do you want to go down the list?
I don't have the leaderboard.
Okay.
The next
Go ahead,
team is
Peter.
the Delivery Boys, which we touched on earlier.
We've actually talked about them a few times in these little broadcast things we do here.
They're one of our up and comers.
You had a lot to say on your last appearance. You had a lot to say about his coaching rigor.
Yes, I do believe I mentioned how he was treating this agility team as a strength team and suffering the consequences for it.
Okay, well you're also talking about how carefully he prepares before games and how he knows most of the teams better than the coaches.
Oh no, that was Mark. That was N7er.
Was it really? You're
for both of them.
Yeah, you have it. You definitely. Yeah, you talked to the Delivery Boys being knowing his opponent's team really well.
I can't remember saying that, and I'll have to watch the video to double check on that. But
Ron, roll the tape.
What I know is he's played quite a bit in the past, but mostly in AI leagues and very briefly in an official league. But this league, I believe he's mostly played strength teams, so he's not quite gotten the hang of the agility team yet. But
well, I can't remember too many games, but I remember watching one of the early games with him, and I thought he was coaching a really strong game. And obviously he's in 4th place, so. Yeah.
Now he could be higher, but he has the graveyard to show for his strength team mentality.
Well, yeah. It's kind of I find myself I did that kind of with Wood Elves, left a lot of Wood Elves in danger in my time, which it's a very big mental adjustment.
I believe there was one point in our game where he marked Dirty Mike with a gutter runner.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dirty Mike felt well served.
Yeah, he did. But he's getting there. He's picking up on what he needs to know. He's pulling those guys back more often.
No.
and he's going to need to, because his TV is not going to get far past 1,000 if he continues to serve
And just for the
those
record,
gutter runners on a platter.
I agree with what you said about Mark as well. Like our two new coaches are both very well prepared and have worked at learning the game, and they came out of the gate as as forces to be reckoned with, I think.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Okay, who's next?
Next on there is, weirdly enough, Mark.
Yes, there we go, in 5th place. So yes, the two brand new coaches are in 4th and 5th place with, I might add, with brand new teams.
Yes, the 1,000 TV.
Yes, they started with the same TV that Kevin and I did, and we're both behind them. So
Yep. N7nor is currently sitting at 1150. Let me pull up their roster. Oh,
right.
Going briefly over the roster. Delivery Boys, he has one gutter runner for the next game. The other one is injured, unfortunately.
Okay, well I got the minions up on my screen here. Okay, I don't know with this portrait, they look a little low on dudes. So is that only 10 guys?
Suffered some losses.
Yeah. So and he's not flush with cash at the moment, so it's gonna be a few a few journeymen coming in for at least a couple of weeks.
One of the things you always got to worry about when you have to have the computer fill in with loaners, and those jerks end up getting the SPPs that could be going to like your real players.
That's the worst thing. Is when your stupid loner dude.
That's why you line them up against the big boys, so they take the hits.
They still get the MVP though.
They don't get player of the game.
They could be dead on turn 1.
They still might get star player.
I know, but you pray that they don't. You let them take the hits so that your guys can do the hitting, the actual SPP.
Yes.
And pray that the MVP doesn't go to them.
The actual earned SPP and not the lottery SPP.
He's got Logan Black, Blodging Werewolf. Do the werewolves normally have access to both general and agility skills?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not
every werewolf I've had has been a blodging werewolf.
Yeah.
So he's got his first blodger up. Logan Black Tusk at 16
I think
out of 31.
just waiting for one of them to get like a strength or agility increase, and then they'll become.
I really don't have much to say about this team other than just solid play all around from that team.
Very solid team.
Yeah, and again, one of the ones I didn't face because I guess he did too well early in the season. So,
and we'll get to that.
Yeah, let's get back over here. Who's next? It will not be the Buried Scorpios, I'm pretty sure of that.
It is the Warpstoned Warriors.
Okay, James, again, a team here that is about to level a dude. And there they are again.
Yes.
We talked about them a little bit before. But again...
Two injured guys.
He's been around for a while.
He does... Who did it, Ron? There's a bunch of guys down. I wonder who's his last game against?
That would be against the Goats.
That's right.
Goats.
But it does have maybe, I don't know, maybe my favorite, I think my favorite Skaven name, which is Squeeze Your Head.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
He leveled, but he is also injured.
He's injured. What kind of injury is it? Let's take a look. I'll call that one up. Oh, it's just a miss next game. He's fine. He's going to take
fine.
He's going to take a little nap and he'll be back the week after.
Any interesting players on this team? I do know that he has the +1 armor Storm Vermin, which baffles me every time I look at it.
Yes, agreed.
Once the Storm Vermin is going to get the job done, and he ain't going down for nothing.
He does have the Gutter Runner with 2 heads, which is a great addition to his team.
Yeah. Well, and he had 2 level 4 Gutter Runners.
Weirdly enough, having Fend before Sidestep. But I know there are a few coaches in this league that swear by Fend.
Yes.
And we won't go into that.
I am in agreement with you on that side, Peter.
He has a thrower. What is that? Hail Mary? He does have a thrower with Hail Mary, which is something you always got to watch out for in his back pocket there.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the? Oh no, I'm thinking of the team in the other league. We're not going to talk about the other league. So let's move on. Who's next on the leaderboard?
That would be some new up and comers, the Enchanted Florists.
Oh, I got I got to 7th. Nice. Not much to say about them.
It's all
I
in
have
alphabetical
questions.
order. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Ron, have you played against this team? I have not seen them.
Sadly, yes. And
I got one of my very few wins against Ron.
should have won the game, and bad bounces were the end of me because elves learn.
0-2. I see.
Yeah, I actually got some. I got some actual lucky spots in that one. Things weren't looking good at the beginning, but
Also, I believe your team value jumped significantly in the last couple of weeks.
well, again, remember I bought a tree man, right, and then
Yes.
and I actually had a few guys level. The first 3 games were a disaster. But that's the thing. That's the thing about teams like this that I don't know. That's why I said I don't know if I have the courage to keep this up because it hurts too much. They're not tough. They're not tough guys. They die on me, and they get injured so easily.
They do, but you know what? They have such high stats that those injuries don't matter unless it's a minus agility or strength.
And also, I truly love bashy teams.
Actually, teams are fun.
If this doesn't work out, I've gone on record. If this doesn't work out, I'm probably going to put in a straight up dwarf team.
You and Kevin.
So what were
Because
your?
Kevin said that. I thought Kevin was
struggles?
into chaos dwarves.
Let's go over this. What were your struggles this half of the season?
My struggles. Well, if you looked at my record, you'd see the first few games were it was a story of. I think I managed to. Yeah, I managed. My very first game. I'm looking at it now on your screen. I know Kevin and I tied each other.
I was there for that one, I believe.
And then I played Quango and got beaten. Although I managed to hang in there on that one.
You put a point on the board, and that's always good.
Yeah, and then I played Dane, and had a close one with that one too, but he prevailed. Much like
I believe every game is a close game when you're playing an agility team, and you're down by 1 point.
Well, not if you're down to 5 guys left on the field, which I know I've had a couple
even
times.
then, after Ron, it's possible.
It's possible, but it's
Not
far less likely. Then I played Miles.
And did you take any losses that week?
I can't remember where I took my injuries and stuff. My guys have
Because he has built a kill team.
Miles. Well, Miles has the classic orc slaughterfest. But okay, we'll get to Miles, and I think in a couple minutes we're gonna get into Miles. And then I finally I got some much in the SPP against the AI. And then lucked out and got my first real win by having a good game against Ron and successfully parlaying some terrible bounces for him into good ones for me.
The only thing in my favor for that is I did have a good day hitting you.
Yeah. I seem to recall some elves on the sidelines of that game.
Now,
But enough about
The
them.
next
Who's
team.
next?
next team is the Honey Boys, which I have not played against this team as Dirty Mike and the gang, but I did play against them as my dwarves and miners.
Well,
Yes.
I have to say that's my experience against these guys mainly too. And I don't know, did you play him when he had a Yeti or not?
That's what I was going to say. The team I faced had a much different look than the team that we see before us now.
Yes.
There was no guard, there was no mighty blow, there was no Yeti.
There was no Bart Harley Jarvis.
There was no Bart Harley Jarvis. There might have been a Bart Harley Jarvis, but he probably didn't have a +1 agility at the time.
Well, my playoff game against him in the rookie league was a disaster, and basically it was my first. The first time having a Yeti foisted against me.
A star player Yeti, which has
Yes.
the advantage, not having wild animal.
That's true. That is true. Because the game we just played in majors here against my L's against your Norseman. The Yeti failed you a lot.
But he did end up killing a guy. Luckily, it was a loner that joined your team, and he now has Mighty Blow to go with his claws.
Yeah. So
I have noticed that you actually are also building a kill team here.
Well, he's got a bunch of strapping Vikings in 300 costumes.
Yeah, but I see.
Careful with them because they are still fragile.
Yeah, you gotta be careful because with the highest armor on your team being 8 and being across 3 players, with the rest of them having 7, you're mildly better than halflings.
And
as far as armor goes,
mildly better than wood elves because wood elves don't have any 8s.
well, you have the tree.
Okay, well, yeah, the big guy. I'm not counting big guys.
But
Block does help.
yes, you all have block, which makes you sturdy. And but I see you've built 2 Mighty Blow pylon berserkers with frenzy, and that's something I don't like as a man playing rats and goblins.
No, nobody likes that. Nobody likes that, Peter. Okay, let's go back to the team list. Who's next? Oh, but by the way, speaking of which, I'm curious to get Peter's thoughts on this. The Honey Boys ended up, I think, in a spot on the leaderboard that I thought they were going to be higher, and then some bad luck hit. And I'm just wondering what you, Peter, and what you, Ron, think. How you think the second half is going to go?
I look at the first half as it was a setup. Now that my guys are a little bit more experienced, I'm expecting much better play out of them.
Yeah.
I'm personally expecting to kill some 7 strength wee boys.
Well, you'll have one. We'll have one chance. You'll have one chance at my little Elfie boys too.
That's right. But yeah, you and the Honey Boys and the Middle Gods all have a 3-way tie at 2, 1, and 3, actually.
Yeah, that is right.
But onto the Middle Gods.
Just like we should also mention then, it didn't come up that the Delivery Boys and Sabanur's Minions are two new coaches. They're actually in a 4th place tie. I don't think we specifically said that, but they are, aren't they, Peter?
They are.
Okay, yeah. So, important to note, 4th place is a tie held by the 2 new guys ahead of all the rest of us. So, good going, guys. Congratulations. I'm coming for you.
So yeah, the
We're on to Metal Gods, aren't we?
Metal Gods, the horrible passing orc team with a bunch of killers. And by a bunch of killers, I mean 1 killer. But he's making more as fast as he can make them.
Yes, they grow in strength every day.
And also, it's a team with 6 guard players.
Yes, it is. And I love that. I love that team. If for no other reason than 6 guard players.
Do not. It is difficult to play the game against them.
It is.
He's got his one pylon guy, Vivian Campbell.
Yep.
The only player in the league who I think might beat Dirty Mike to level 6 because he's rolling in more SPP a game than Dirty Mike is.
Gotcha.
And then there's his Fowler, which one of the only players in our league who actually has a fouling player, weirdly enough.
Mine got killed.
There's myself, there's the Orc here, Steve Harris, and
Yeah, and Davy Bones is retired for me.
Yeah,
so.
I think there's a third player somewhere in the league, but
Actually, was my fouling skeleton? Was it Davy Bones or was it Bone Scott?
Thought it was Davy Bones.
Davy
Okay.
Bones.
All right. I have trouble remembering which skeleton's which.
He
But
plays.
looking at this team that's played a season and a half, he does not have a single person with a niggling injury.
No, there's no red crosses. No red crosses.
Why would he have any of those when everyone has 9 armor?
Everyone has 9 armor. Everyone has 9 armor, and they're possible to get 2 dice on. Okay, that's what we're looking at
And
here.
block.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, these guys are never going to get injuries.
Wild
Well,
Mick Brown is the only guy
Unless
without
you
block.
can't lightning bolt at them.
Oh, Steve Harris, new guy. Steve Harris doesn't have block. He's the fouler.
Yeah, he doesn't get blocky.
Yeah.
He's just in the back and
yeah.
gets sent off.
So yeah, and there's a couple level 1s there for the bench because he's carrying 14 guys, which I think is a pretty high number for an orc team.
A team that doesn't lose players.
Well, that's the thing. You know, high armor teams, I tend to play them with 1 guy on the bench.
Yeah.
2 if
I
you
go
have
with
reason.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, he's got the double threat going on where he has RGD, who is somehow the best passer in the league by a mile.
Well, we'll take a look at that in a couple more minutes.
Yeah. And then he's got, his killers on the front line with 6 guard players and most of them having block.
Yeah. So I expect bigger and better things for this team.
I hope
And this is
not,
also
for the
this is
sake of my
also
own players who I love.
I would say this is also a coach who has has learned the game very well and still regularly plays it and stays in shape, as it were.
I'm thinking that he's looking forward to getting a hold of some of these lesser armored teams and doing horrible things to them.
Yeah. Like I played him once in that first half, and I don't want to play. I got really lucky, and I don't think anyone died. I may be wrong though.
I was able to keep off of him fairly well, and keep moving my guys back. But I know there's some luck involved in that lasting as long as it did and not getting any injuries in that game.
Yeah, I hear you.
Nothing permanent anyway.
Okay,
One thing
so
to know
yeah.
is scared of Yetis. Does not like them.
I'll be sure to use that to my advantage.
He's cowardly in that one way.
Cowardly's not the right word.
Okay.
Just does not like them.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, next team is the dreaded Nurgle.
The dreaded Lurg.
The dreaded Lurgle.
Yes, the dreaded Lurg. Here they are. I've got a picture of them. A deceptively low team. I think there's a couple guys down. Is that what's going on? Look at that. Oh, look at that
Also,
team. And I have to congratulate Kevin on his choice of armor color. Because that toxic sludge puke green goes so
really
good
does
with those guys.
And he's got one of the best, like a couple of the best named players in the league.
Yes,
We have to pay tribute to.
It is, as I think we've discussed the naming scheme of this team in past episodes, but yes, it's definitely worth mentioning. Although, doesn't he have someone new? He's got someone new, doesn't he?
Audrey Hepby.
Right, there you go. That's a good one.
But he's got a son of Pissboy because Pissboy died.
Right.
And he's got my favorite name on the team personally, Jim Rash.
Yes. Yeah, it is good. I am also a fan of Burl Hives.
That one's good.
And of course, the Mumps and Shawns is a damn star.
Yes. I was unable to play the Lurg. So
I play the most.
you two be able to chime in here?
We were just, I played him game 1. I played him, and we were both coming. We both came out of the garden fresh as daisies, and faced each other. It was a wonderful game. We tied. What else can I say? It was poetry.
I see the Mumpsy's got Stand Firm now.
He does have stand firm, which is a great thing for him to have. You can know his odor stays wherever he wants it to stay.
I would have thought he'd try to pick up on Mighty Blow to get that SPP rolling
He
a little
already
faster.
has Mighty Blow.
Oh, he does. That's right.
Yeah.
Comes with. No, he just wants to clog up the midfield.
No, but that's the right choice then.
To clog up the Winfield with his body and his ranging stench.
Yep.
Which pays dividends given time. So again,
once he gets his team all recovered and his full SPP is there, which I believe if everyone was healthy, he would have 1270.
Maybe I know that Kevin is a little discouraged by the way, but I think things have gone badly with the several games of terrible rolling and that kind of thing.
I believe he's got some good things coming, but I also hope that I face him first.
He definitely does, and I think that he's already set. I think Kevin has already decided this is this year. The rest of the season's all about SPP and building the team for next year. And if he's not too discouraged, I think he'll play and plays his team. I think he'll have a really scary team come season 4. I think he's like me in that I don't think we're not seeing these teams go from worst to first this season. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're there yet.
Not yet.
But it is Blood Bowl. Anything can happen, and it is 11 more games, really.
It is Blood Bowl, and the Necromantic and Skaven teams, coached by our new players, also still exist, and those teams are known for doing things well beyond what their team value should allow them to.
So I really
Arnold needs to put in a little more work.
Well, the team's had terrible luck. They're constantly dealing with these injuries, and I believe he's had to replace at least a couple guys. Ron, do you remember?
At least a couple.
Yeah.
Well, there is a guy named Son of Piss Boy, which means Piss Boy is dead.
Yes, definitely no more Piss Boy. Okay, let's say enough of that. I think here's the thing. Kevin is like Tom Brady. He's always going to be in there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Up next we have Khazad-dûm Patrol.
Oh, Khazad-dûm Patrol again. I have to say I was proud to give. I shouldn't even say to give him his last win there, because I didn't give it to him. He took it.
Yeah,
he played a good game and didn't roll like absolute garbage.
From what I can tell, he's progressed quite far as a coach.
Yeah.
Also, another one of the best names in the league, Bob Lobloblin.
Yeah, that is
the Hobgoblin.
Yeah, that's. I do like BoJack Norseman.
That's
I think it's a new guy.
But I feel like there's another team it could fit better on. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Doesn't fit the Navy team.
No, he's a horse. He's a horseman.
I mean, if there was some way to put him on my team, I would gratefully take him.
Yeah. Good. You can't mix teams quite that much. Although, again, a mixed league team might be something for a future side league. After Rage or something.
I believe you can only do that with the Ultimate Edition.
Oh, that's right. We've talked about that, and some people don't have the Legendary Edition.
Legendary Edition, that's the one.
Yeah, and the extra stuff. So, who knows? Next time it's on sale for $5, just get it.
It's a pretty standard dwarf build with some extra special fun mutation thrown in. I see he's got a Chaos Dwarf blocker with Claw and Mighty Blow.
Yeah.
Which is scary.
He has a purpose.
Very, very
he has a purpose.
He has a little Wolverine in there.
Again, this team is. I see 5 red crosses. One of them might be temporary on Scary Osborne. He's down now, but still, again, this is a team, the much younger team than the Goats, but these guys have been through something. Yeah,
he's got a Bull Centaur with block and break tackle now, which is another thing that's going to help him a lot.
Yeah, so
because that guy can go wherever he needs to.
Well, I expect to see more wins coming down the pipe in those next 11 games. That's for sure. Especially, he does get to play me and Kevin again. So
he's also got a level 4 player, which is pretty good for.
Right, that was. Is that Bob Loblin?
Bob Loblin.
There we go. All right, who do we have left?
We got to talk about the Buried Scorpios, the Kemri team.
Can someone
really had a?
Can someone gently play taps as we move on to the? Let's move on to our Hall of Fame and talk about the. Talk about who's doing what. There is season 3, part 1. Here we go. Starting with most. Hey, look at that! There's guys with experience. Let's move on to the next category. Yep. There we go. Something that everyone likes to look at. We have the most violent players, and just quickly to check. All right, second place is a tie. Not pictured to be Godzilla from The Legend of Quango. So, hats off to him. He doesn't make the pictures, but it's random, and he's tied with Rhedosaurus.
I had seen that Dirty Mike was number 1, but I didn't see how.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that number there.
He was number 1.
Yes.
Most violent, by the way, is the casualties and so injuries and deaths. The later category, biggest brutes, is I believe knockouts.
Well, all I know is I don't have any guys on this list.
I do not either.
That's true too. Okay, that's the most violent. Let's see.
I hope that Jamie Kerr will get.
Well, yeah, you can hope.
I am hoping.
Yeah. So let's go to our best receivers here, though. I'm looking at top 3, and these top three are all tied for first. With, I guess that's 3. Simple 3 means they've received 3 passes each. Yes. Doesn't sound like much, but it's a whole hell of a lot for someone like me.
Another player of the Warpstone Warriors in right in behind them at 2, tied with Tommy Guns from my team and White Widow from yours.
There you go. Yeah, I was going to say having 3 basically means every second game this guy's caught a ball, and that's think about that. I can barely get a guy to catch a ball in 1 game. Okay, serial kills. I think we know that's a pretty clear category.
It's a 13-way tie among all players who have scored a kill.
Yeah. Nobody's got more than 1 yet. So we've got a bunch of guys from several of the teams. There's some honey boys up there, though, Ron.
It does make me happy.
Yeah, you got Naughty Nathan, Cutie Kev, and Mighty Mike, and nobody on that second. So you got 3 in there.
I am noting that all the teams who are in that list of teams who have killed other players belong in that list. Yes. There are no outstanding teams.
No, there's no outlier. There's no enchanted florist kill. All right, let's go to
any Skaven teams killing.
Interceptors. Does anyone have more than 1? No, we have one guy who's one guy intercepted, and he's gone. He's retired.
Yeah, AI.
Yeah. So on to the biggest brutes, and that is successful. Yes, it is. And actually, I was looking at that. Let's see. So bronze is a tie with Ghidorah, who will not be pictured. So Dirty Mike and Ghidorah are tied for 3rd for biggest brutes. But I meant biggest brutes is a reference to injuries.
It is knockouts.
Is it knockouts? Okay.
Knockouts inflicted.
All right.
It's a sad stat because that means the player with that stat, with a high score in the biggest brutes category, was very close to getting a lot of SPP a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
good point.
He did take a man off the field, though.
He did do that.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
He did help the ball carrier get some SPP.
So yeah, Dirty Mike and Ghidorah tied with 5, Rhedosaurus with 6, and Don Cordone. Good for him. Good for Don Cordone.
Yeah.
Okay, over the best
spent
throwers.
Half the games on the ground, and then the other half of the games knocking players out.
Okay, we have the 3 actual clear individuals here. RJD is number 1, like we had said before. As you can see, we weren't joking. top thrower in the league is an orc. Good for him. And of course, next though is Naughty Nathan. Anything to say about your boy there, Ron?
Well, he is also the master of the skip pass, which doesn't go into the. There's been 2 times where he's thrown the ball, missed his target, it bounced and went to another one of my guys.
Which does cause a turnover, but it's better than it going on the ground somewhere else.
No, it doesn't cause a turnover.
If it hits the ground, yeah, it does.
I'm telling you right now, Peter, it happened twice. I missed my target, bounced on the ground, and bounced to another one of my guys, and I still was able to keep going.
You know, it sounds to me like you're pretty sure of that, but
that's.
Well, if you don't believe me, ask Mark.
I'm fairly sure if it
lands in a player's hands. Well, I remember I saw it happen in one of those games, and I thought at the time it was some kind of a glitch.
That sounds like a glitch, but you know what?
Yeah. Yeah, because an incomplete pass should be a turnover, but it happened twice this season. So, anyway, from best throwers, let's move on to rushers. So these are the fast boys. So yeah, clear. Actually, very close fourth with Jiminy Ricketts of the Lurg. Very close to a third there. Only 2 yards.
Not someone you expect. Not a team you expect to see in the best rushers.
Although again, that he's Jimmy Ricketts, I believe he's Pestigore, which is the equivalent of our number 1 Cindy Clopper.
That's right.
Pestigore is just a diseased goat man, isn't he?
He is.
So again, RJD, and another great name. Love this name, Pete Fastlegs.
It's pretty good.
Something I really like about that name.
It pretty much tells you all you need to know.
It tells you so much. So much is so little. Again, another example of something with no fat. All right, best passers. Okay, so best throwers and best passers. I guess this is how many completions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
the other one's
yards.
So yeah, this is a tie again for third. So we see Jack, my Jack. He's on the list, but Squeaked when stepped on from the Warriors should be sitting next to him right there. But again, Naughty Nathan and RJD. So no, best throwers, best passers. The 2 stats go together.
Oddly enough, looking at the top 20 on this list, there are nearly as many passes as there were serial kills this league.
There's a lot of finesse players. Some of them were orcs, as a matter of fact. Okay, best scorers. There's Cindy Clopper. No big surprise there.
No one is surprised.
And these guys are in a second place tie. You're Mr. Kokvid of Murica and Pete Fastlegs. Tied for silver on best scoring. And let's see, who else is in that? This is kind of a big stat.
I think this is the first time one of my players is in the top 10.
Pretty Boy the Third, I see him there in 6th. Oh, actually tied for 5th with Electric Dane and Logan Blacktusk. Yeah.
I expect to see Geigen from Quango up higher on this list because he's, again, a gutter runner on a...
well, he does have new powers to exploit, so it shouldn't take long for him to move up. And then most matches played, I think we know that. And there's a very fun category, best punching bags. And the award goes to Logan Blacktusk? No, it's a 3-way tie. 3-way tie between Logan Blacktusk. Okay, say that name. Someone else say this name.
Click Mode Hitter.
Click Mode Hitter and Mushroom Morit. Another good name. I like that name too.
Delivery Boys is a name you will see a lot on this list. Yeah. If you look at the top 20.
Punching bags? Yeah.
Yes.
There's a few down there. Hey, there's a buried Scorpio at least.
I am very proud to say that not a single one of my players is on this list.
In the top 10, I've only looked at the top 10. I can't believe none of my guys are on there. I'm sure if I go to the second page... Oh, there's a couple. Part of that big 3 tie there. So Blueberry, who is currently in hospital, recovering as we speak. He will not be there for game 1 of the part 2. So there we go. I think is that it? Is that our last one? That is our last one.
Yep.
So I think we've covered everything at length. So we'll call it. So you guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna put this thing on YouTube tonight. So I expect it to be up by Thursday evening. So I'll have it up tomorrow. So thanks for joining me, Ron.
Oh, great to hang out with you guys.
It is fun, and
I'm
Peter.
here too.
Peter, what's that? Well,
I'm here too.
Yes, I can only sign each of you off at one at a time. I guess I could do both. Hey, you guys, it was really fun to have you. But no, Peter, thank you very much for helping me out with this. I'm sure everyone appreciates it.
Yeah.
And both of
I
you
always enjoy talking
only
about
added
the
value with the beautiful tones of your dulcet voices.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
I'm feeling pretty good about. I feel pretty magnanimous about it.
It was very magnanimous.
So I will see you guys on the pitch. We don't have a schedule to look at. Maybe we'll maybe we'll put out a quick little do a 15-minute going over the matchups or something before the season starts if we can get that in.
Because we have to do predictions.
We need to do a few predictions. So
do
once
like
everyone gets
predictions.
their tickets in, I will set the schedule and we'll do a quick one and we'll put it live. Unless we're waiting too long, I won't hold up the league for it. But yeah, I'd love to get that done. And and other people, we're always open to. It's only being the three of us doing these, but everyone else, let me know if you're interested. We welcome other voices.
Absolutely.
So for me, Dale. Now you say, and from me, Ron.
And for me, Ron.
Okay, now Peter, you say, and from me, Peter.
And Peter, me.
From all of us, thanks so much for listening and viewing, and we will see you guys out on the pitch. Okay, good night.